nowadays, it seems that one of the tricks of shaitan is that when there's a challenge or a mistake or something that we are faced with, shaitan wants or kind of whispers that the feeling of remorse and intensity of remorse is it should be a lot, because you have to be really ashamed about it, very perfect. You have to be very perfect in your remorse. It's very intense, and when the remorse is so intense, that mistake is front and center, and you can't just get it out of your mind, and the ego then tricks you again with that, because it's so in front of you. And the whole system is supporting.
Oh, no, I don't see so many people, when they make mistake in front of me, they cry until the snot comes out. If anything, they look at me very stubborn. So many times I have to curse and yell at them for that to break, for the remorse to reach to them, men and women. They'll be very resistant, they're very cold, they're very stubborn. I have to break something to say, you did this wrong. Are you understanding? They want to fight, they want to argue. It's good, everything should be taken out when the Shaykh is there. You're not going to hide it. You understand? I don't see it too much. Maybe you're talking about Shias, I don't know. But they've been doing it for 1400 years, beating themselves. So they're very remorseful. People don't admit they're making mistakes. They blame other people. And in our way, I don't see that too much. Because that is the first step. It's not the last step, but that's the first step. Because we are also looking for people who are feeling remorseful. That's the first step. But then you can take that and you can use it. That's the next steps. Then what do you do after remorse, you see? What do you do? So many don't know how to admit that they are wrong. So many don't know how to admit they are wrong. We're brought up just to be stubborn, especially in this American system. If you're wrong, somebody tells you you're wrong, what do? You shut down. You shut down. You don't discuss, you don't talk. You just shut down and you're just like, okay, whatever, right? So whatever. And then you go into a corner, you be quiet for a while, and people leave you alone, and then after that, when you get over it, then everything becomes normal again. You see, Shaykh Efendi used to say a long time ago, people nowadays, they don't even know how to cry. They don't know how to cry. They don't know how to laugh. They don't know how to cry. So you see people becoming more stubborn. Men being stubborn, women, still stubborn. We're teaching stubbornness to the kids. The kids become very stubborn. You did something wrong. They don't melt. They just become more stubborn. Where is this stubbornness coming from? You cannot admit you do something wrong. You don't like when someone tells you you're wrong, but you did something wrong. Someone who tells you that you did something wrong, Shaykh Efendi used to say you should run and kiss his hand. Ego again. I don't know, maybe amongst your patients, they are very remorseful about things because they're going to die. Maybe. Right, you don't see that either. Yeah. The heart has to be soft. Zikr is supposed to make your heart soft so that it shakes. When you remember Allah and the Prophet, it will shake, it will soften. If the zikr is not making your heart to be soft and you become more stubborn, it's doing the opposite. And the sheikhs will even tell you, stop making zikr, because it's making you to become more proud and more stubborn. They'll tell you to do something else. Yeah. No, I see when people are fighting, they double down, they double down, and they double down. They don't want, nobody wants to give in, nobody wants to concede, to be the first to say, okay, we should not have this argument. I'm sorry. to discuss. That's only then after that, just to talk, to understand, to discuss. Oh, no, nothing. Men's and women's, they get very upset if I tell them something sometimes. Then they become very moody. Say, what's wrong with you? I mean, I know. I went through that phase too. But what you need to understand, the one who is reminding you that is not your enemy. Your enemy is not going to say that. Your shaitan is not going to say that. Your shaitan is going to say, go ahead, make that mistake over and over again. Your ego is not going to say that. What do I gain by telling people, look, fix this, you have this? What do I gain? Nothing. That's why a lot of sheikhs, they don't do that. They don't wash up. If anything, they praise, because by praising, they get something. Everybody likes to be praised. Well, we are trained by SahibulSaif. We can't do that. It's not. You understand? Doesn't mean we don't forgive. Doesn't mean that we don't love. This is the thing. Our idea of love these days is very weird. If they have that, it's okay. Some people, if they have that kind of remorse, it's okay. Because Prophet ﷺ also says, what did he say? Make yourselves to cry. Cry often. He says, cry often. Not crying over this and that, crying, asking forgiveness from Allah. Cry often. And he's even saying, if you cannot cry, force yourself to cry. How many of you think in the last year that you're sitting down saying Astaghfirullah alazim wa atubu ilayh, recounting all your mistakes, you cry to your Allah? How many of you? Put up your hands. See? There's something there, something wrong. Leave Allah. What we have done to deny the mercy of our Shaykh is enough to make us to cry. Then at that time your heart will be soft. When your heart is soft towards that, you actually will become more pliable, strong, and shaitan is not going to attack you so much by poking you here and there through your weak points. You understand? Yeah. So, should try, inshallah. Huh? Yes or no? Don't give me yes or no. Just give me 27, 25. I think, okay. Huh? A simple question. You guys make so complicated so many times. Okay. Good. When we go to battle, then you're going to understand my words. How you make things confusing and you're going to lose so much. Okay. Any other question? Anything you want to say? Yes, Masood?
I got back on Sunday night, and then I went to work on Tuesday, and I haven't traveled for a while.
Good. Over there.
And
you went back on Sunday?
I got back late Sunday. I took Monday off. I went to work on Tuesday, and just being back at work after traveling and doing everything has felt so disgusting. It was just and I haven't felt that way for a long time. Just
right, because you haven't traveled like that for a long time with me.
Yeah. And
where every day we're making zikr. Every day we have sohbat, yes?
Yeah.
And we didn't sleep too much.
Right.
But it wasn't so intense like it was in the early days.
Yeah.
But still, you're tired, you come in there and then you just engage 100%, no?
Yeah.
So you haven't felt what?
Like that.
Put it close to you.
Like to go back into dunya and really just feel not wanting to be there at all, like just trying to run away. And so I just left work yesterday, and then I was here today. I spent time with Sarkhan with the barbecue and doing that for the kids.
Yeah.
And then today, in the zikr, just I'm thinking that we always recite that ayat before the Allah part. If you want your heart to be satisfied, you have to say Allah. I'm just trying to understand that obviously we're saying the name, but what is in the zikr, especially when we make zikr as a jamaat, that makes that satisfaction? What is that? I understand it has to be something more than just repeating a name that's giving the satisfaction. What is it that brings that satisfaction? Because today it's very...
You answer your own question. You went back to work. Was your heart satisfied?
No.
Okay. You're traveling with us, right? Were you satisfied? No. Okay. What were we doing?
Everything's for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Put on the mic.
We're running around for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do Shaykh Efendi's work.
Right. And we're not going to claim so many things, you know? It's not as if we went there, we spoke to 10,000 people and 5,000 took bayat and this and that. All that is a show anyway, right? So what is it that we are trying, what is it that you're trying to do there now? Okay, you're trying to satisfy your heart by doing that, but you're trying to help people too, right? You know that you cannot do anything, but if Shaykh Effendi wants to use you, then you make yourself available to help. One person, two people, three people. Bre, we even gave bayat to a... Is this live? Yes. Okay. Right. So, you know, it's interesting, right? So there's some work that we are doing. Now, it gives us satisfaction. So what is it? To do things for Allah's sake. What is it? Now, directly, it's about zikr and sohbat. It's reminding people about Akhir Zaman, reminding people about tariqat and Islam, answering the questions that they cannot find an answer to. We're not repeating answers. And that gives us satisfaction. So, we're not only saying Allah by word, but we are trying to give satisfaction to other people too, isn't it? Yeah. Meaning, we are saying Allah and we're making people to say Allah. And reminding people about Allah and reminding people how to say Allah gives you satisfaction. You can have so many problems, so many worries, so many complaints. But when you start doing this work, everything falls away. It becomes dead. It's not there. When it's not there, you're doing for Allah's sake, you get more power. You become less weak. And then when you come back, you'll feel it a little bit, take some time to adjust, but you'll be able to carry on. And then now it's a bit more balanced now. Every time I travel, I come back. When I'm coming back or towards the later part of any travel, sometimes middle of the travel, I'll say, what am I doing here? I want to go back. I want to go back to the Dergahı. I want to go back to this. Right? And that's a very interesting point, because now you want to go back. It's not as if we go back and we go back to this. Sohbet and zikr. But this again is for us, it's for me. That, to do something like that, it's for them. And as long as you do more things for others like that, the more peace and satisfaction comes to you. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck here. I don't want to get stuck here. I don't want to get stuck there. So whatever work that you have with people who want some help outside or here, reach out to them. Inshallah. This much is enough. It's a nice night. Huh? MashaAllah. We're in rest, inshallah. Oh, there's no school tomorrow. You finish school? They had a barbecue? When? Today? How was it?